What's bracking, guys? Welcome to this dynamic potential and player growth test where I'll take a group of players who are the age of 30 and up, place them in the third division of Germany, so they're basically in kind of the best conditions in that first season to maybe try to enact dynamic potential, and we'll see if they do grow, as well as when they do a decline. So basically this kind of growth test will be over once every player stops growing or starts declining, so should be like a 4 or 5 seasons is about what it should be at. So you can see some of the players here. Ciro Immobile, who is a 30-year-old striker and 87 overall. I tried to have the kind of a mix of overalls just to see maybe if that could possibly have an influence on whether a player can have dynamic potential come into effect or not. And it really doesn't seem to make a huge difference, is what we'll see eventually. PC, another player that we'll have here. Paulino as well. Blint, Osil, Smalling, Cresswell, Jonathan Dos Santos. For some reason, I'm pretty sure Dos Santos had a game face in before. I don't know. They just took out his game face randomly, I think. Then Scott Sinclair, and also you can see a right back right there. I just grabbed him off of free agents. He's actually an older player. That's why I wanted to grab him to see have another 31-year-old to see if he would grow or not. So I didn't actually show him. For some reason, I forgot about him. But yeah, he's going to be another player who you actually will see coming up because he did have some interesting things happen. So Immobile did actually grow by a point up to the 88 overall, now ending the season at age 31. That's cool to see. No growth for PC, as well as a few other players. There really wasn't too much in the way of growth in this first season, but again, dynamic potential can come to effect more so in the second seasons is what happens from time to time, and actually could see the players grow. Because basically every player you're seeing here, their overall is the same as the potential, obviously, due to their age. And Smalling did grow by point as well. So center backs do tend to kind of grow a little bit later, have always tended to, in previous FIFAs also. So that could be a factor as well with the fact that he was one of the players who grew a little bit earlier on in this first season. But yeah, so no growth really for some of these players. Actually, we see Sinclair, the 31-year-old, did decline, but the other 31-year-old player we had, who I told you about before, Smith, the right back, did actually grow a point. You'll see in a second here. So it's not like there's maybe a certain age where they have to decline, but it does seem like there is a certain point where the game almost says, yeah, these players are growing, their dynamic potential is coming to effect, but we got to reverse that right away, and we'll see a case of that coming up right here. So actually, no, it was November of the season 2, and you actually see Osil actually did grow a point. Coming up here, yeah. So you can see getting up to 82 overall, just a couple weeks in a couple of months in the season, excuse me. But like I said, it was almost like the game just said no, F that, and it made him actually decline pretty quickly right after that. So it was very strange because obviously he was in good form and all that. You see Immobile still growing actually to the 89 overall, so some good improvements here at the age of 32. And it's really nice to see just the fact that as long as, for the most part, I do think play time can be a pretty big factor for some of these players. Blint up to the 84 overall, so +2 for him also. So good improvements for some of these players again over the age of 30. PC, though, unfortunately declining. His play time was pretty good. He wasn't happy with team performance for some reason, but that just always seems to happen. I think we did get automatic promotion, but not we didn't win the title. So Paulino did decline by a point. Cresswell grew by a point up to the 79 overall at the age of 31, going to 32 overall, on to 32. And Osil did actually end up technically, declining 3 points. Sorry for the stuttering. Ended up technically declining 3 points. Obviously, did grow a point a couple of months in the season. Dos Santos did grow himself by a point, which is good to see. So that's nice. Michael Smith did decline now, had that quick growth for one season, but unfortunately lost it right away, basically going down a couple points. And then Scott Sinclair, who was retiring at the age of 33, has dropped to a 68 overall. So there's some interesting stuff we're seeing. It seems like it's not completely set as far as whether players grow or not, but it's still kind of strange. I feel like there's a point where the game doesn't want things to happen. Smalling actually grew another point. He did leave the club. I basically just simped through the calendar and didn't even bother the fact that he got transferred out. It was like, whatever, let him leave. So 81 overall, actually grew another point, so that's cool. And you can really see again dynamic potential coming into play for some of these 30-year-old players. You guys saw in my previous video. So I'm going to take some other players around and see how it works. So in a season 3 now, you can see Cresswell did drop. We'll oversee if some other players may have grown or dropped as well. So he still played, a lot of games and all that, but obviously was just did not work out playing the Bundesliga. A lot of these players did have poor match ratings. That may be a factor to think about. But Blint dropping a point after the +2 in the previous season. Smith now a huge drop thanks to, and I do think this is where I think that play time does matter a lot, because the fact that he dropped so much in that one season after barely playing any matches. I think if he maybe played some more matches, he would have been fine. But now Jonathan Dos Santos up to the 79 overall. So he's grown by 2 points so far, and he's even at the age of 33. So that's really promising to see that happening. So because I did have a cam before, Tom Kearney was one who showed us in the previous video, who did grow. Paulino dropping by 4 points. Ostil dropping by 4 points also, down to the 75 overall. See if any other players may have grown. Doesn't really seem like it, in all honesty. PC still continuing to drop, as basically the last player I think we'd be looking at is Immobile here coming up. So a lot of the players aren't actually retiring yet as well. And you can see Immobile actually basically kind of lost all of his growth in this season now at the age of 33, going down to the 86 overall. He's happy with the play time and the team performance and all that. So I'm not sure if it has... I think it does. I think maybe 33, 34 is kind of the cutoff to where players do start declining no matter what, possibly. So in the season 4 we're into now, basically just be seeing everyone drop off in quality. No one is going to be growing anymore, it looks like. You can see Immobile dropping quite a bit, Blint dropping quite a bit, PC dropping, Paulino, a lot of players who already wore. Jonathan Dos Santos, who actually grew very well in the previous seasons, dropped a lot also, and at the age of I think it was 34. Now, 34. Jonathan Dos Santos a big -5, down to the 74 overall. Cresswell up down by 6 points to the 71 overall. Yeah, that's pretty bad with some of the declines, but that pretty much wraps up the video now, guys. And so as you can see, dynamic potential can come into play for some of these older players. You guys saw Immobile, Blint, Jonathan Dos Santos grow, and even Osio kind of grew a point randomly as well. So it all can come to play. Also, our right back did grow. So yeah, it's just kind of weird. It seems to be, it could be a bit unpredictable from time to time, but it is cool to see that 30-year-olds are not useless anymore. That's nice. That's a good addition to the game. With that, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please leave a like on it. With that, I love you. Hit that like button. I'll be signing out now, and I'll catch you guys later.